in the same spacing. They're not doing wide spacing fast.
Yep, here we are, another day. YouTube, welcome in. What's happening? Chris almost fell into the pool. Hey, if I die, everybody's gonna see these and everybody's gonna laugh. Dougie.
Okay, this is Chris at Mr. Fence, and we're doing a patio cover today. So this is us taking down what's left of the patio cover, and it's right next to the pool, so we had to be careful not to get debris in the pool. So that's the old post he's taking out right there. So I went over with the customer where to put the new post in relation to the pool, because he wanted to make the new patio cover longer. So he wanted to put them, you know, pretty close to the pool, the post right there as the best location. So to put the post in, we drill holes in the slab and then we fill them up with anchor cement and then push the rebar down in there, and the anchor cement expands when it dries and holds that rebar really tight. Then we put the post up over the rebar, like right there, and then we put concrete in about halfway up. But before we put the concrete in, we get the other end post set, and then we pull a string and put the middle post. See, he just held the middle post up to the string upside down and marked it, and then he cut the bottom off the post, but he held the bottom up to the string so that it marks it perfect and then cuts the bottom off. So now that post is exactly the right height. And then he puts it back up and it's right there on the string. So you got all your posts exactly, your middle post exactly in line with both of your end posts. And you got to do things like that, and then the finished product will come out nice and straight and perfect. And then you hold a string from the end post along the wall, along the stucco, and you put all your brackets right on that string, and you put them all perfectly spaced between each post. Each post has a different distance between them, like one is 10 feet between the post, and then the other side is like 8 feet. So you just split up that difference and put the rafter brackets on it. So then you put the header across. The vinyl only comes in 16 foot, so we have to splice it in the middle. All that vinyl is 2x6, the rafters and the header part. The header is the one that goes across the front and joins the post together. So you can see the wood is sliding inside the vinyl right there, and it fits right in there pretty good, perfect. So since it's only 16 feet long, we're gonna splice it right there at the center post. So there's one side, and then we'll slide one in for the other side. But when you slide it in, you got to put those stubbies on there that you see right there. We call them stubbies. They're basically connectors to connect the rafter to the header. And then Jordan's putting a set screw in them right at the right spot. He puts a little screw so they don't slide anymore. And the same with the rafters. You put one in the top for the rafter. Then you got to get out in the pool on the ladder and slide them in from the front. In the next section, we do it a different way. We don't go out in the pool, but it's really tedious to do it the other way, but you'll see how we do it when we get there. So I'm helping him slide it through. He just needs a second set of hands. You know, he's doing most of the work. He's grabbing it, connecting it to the stucco right there. So yeah, this customer, he wanted a longer patio cover, plus his was all worn out and it was wood and chipping and termites, and the paint was all chipped off. It was all messed up. Wood ones, they just don't last. But the vinyl with the wood inside, this is gonna last forever. And it stays clean. You know, after 5 years or something, you can go out there and clean it up if you want. Use 50 steel wool. Number was 5 zeros, so it's a real soft steel wool. And just use simple green, and you can just clean it all off, and then it's good for another 5 years or more, as far as, you know, dirt sticking to it. And the dirt hardly sticks to it. It's much better than paint. It's like the vinyl, those vinyl windows on that house you see right there. Those are all vinyl as well, and they stay clean. So you put these rafters in, and then you put the pickets on last. So we do a patio cover about every 4 months or so. I would say that's about average. We don't do so many of them. We mostly do vinyl fencing and gates. A lot of wood fencing too. Well, we also I do glass fencing and glass gates and power gates. So we put those stubbies on there and we slide them down. So this is the second day. The first day we just got up to 3 posts. That was pretty slow progress for what I expected. And then I'll leave here about 2:30, 3 o'clock, and Jordan will finish up by cutting the ends off all those rafters all the same. And then he's got to put caps on the end of each rafter and on the top of each stubby and the bottom of each stubby, because those stubbies are just a piece of 5x5 post that is cut short and then has the holes routed in it for the 2x6. Jordan really enjoyed jumping in the pool there because it was a fairly hot day. And then, of course, when he's putting the brackets on, he leaned over and his swimsuit dripped water all over the battery charger, and it sizzled and popped and was no good. We used Milwaukee. I took the Milwaukee battery charger to the repair shop, Milwaukee Service Center, and we've done it before. They just give you a new one. And then also with the tools, like the Sawzalls, we're pretty hard on those, and they just give us a new Sawzall or put new guts inside it every time. And they look at the serial number, and if it's within 5 years, they fix it. No questions asked. They just fix it or give you a brand new tool. But Milwaukee's so good. They're good, strong, powerful tools. They're the best for sure. I mean, DeWalt's right there with them, but the way they just honor their warranty with no questions asked, I just love Milwaukee. Jordan's here finishing up. He's putting a diagonal rafter on there. Goes at an angle from the stucco and connects right there at that side of that post. The customer wanted that there so he could have the pickets extend further out so he could get more shade on that end. And he did it this way so he didn't want to add an extra post. So here's Jordan. I think he's cleaning up right there, getting ready to leave. But you see all the rafters are cut off the ends. It's all looking nice and neat and tidy and clean looking. And vinyl patio covers are really the way to go. Well, I mean, Alumawood's good too when they're made out of aluminum, just as good. The next day we come and we put on the pickets, and the pickets don't have wood in them, and the pickets only come 16 foot, even though this patio cover is about 21 feet long. Well, the pickets are going to stick out a foot and a half on the ends. So the 16-foot picket, you got to splice it at one of the rafters. You got to pick a rafter where you use most of the picket that you can. You put it only half on the rafter and then add another picket on the other half of the rafter to continue the picket on to reach the 22 feet or so that they need to be. We just glued the pickets on because the glue is like welding. It's so strong, if you got to take it apart, you almost can't even get it apart. So we just put a dot of glue on each picket where it touches the rafters, and it'll be good forever like that. So you don't have to use screws. There it is. We haven't cleaned up yet, but that's all done. Thanks for watching our video, and we'll see you on the next one.